bring forth several pieces of information in public session anyway. So, Councillor Elgar, may I offer you the floor?
Thank you, and I appreciate that, Mayor Burton. The reason I ask is because the last time it was before us was a long time ago, and we were just receiving information from the delegations that came. So, and I know it's on blue paper, and there will be items we will be going into camera at the end of the meeting. But I just want, for what is public information that everybody should know, is just a few questions to staff. And I guess I would ask, what is the purpose of an official plan? What is the town's purpose of an official plan, or planning staff's?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the purpose of the official plan is to set out the overall land use policies for the municipality in whatever time frame that the provincial policy requirements are set for.
Thank you very much. And how is the official plan actually implemented?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, the official plan sets out the overall land use policies, and those land use policies are implemented through a zoning bylaw where it sets out the details for individual properties.
Thank you very much. Now, on this particular property we're talking, on the southern portion, what zoning was placed on the property in 2004 with regard to the number of stories that would be allowed?
In 2004, the property was zoned an RM zone, which would have permitted 3-story townhouses. I actually have a presentation with a few slides that sets out what is the official plan designation and the existing zoning on the property, if you wanted to see that.
Are we sure in 2004 it was an RM?
Well, actually, it was an R7E. It was done as a comprehensive bylaw change to an entire property, a much larger property than this specific one. It was done as a site-specific amendment. The intent of the zoning bylaw, though, was to permit the multiple attached with 3 stories and a series of setback regulations. The newest bylaw, Bylaw 2014-14, takes those provisions, updates them to reflect the Livable Oakville policy requirements, and zones the property in RM 269, another site-specific.
And what is the RM zoning? What does it say with regard to what can be in an RM1 zone, and what are the maximum stories in an RM1 zone?
So the RM zone also permits the townhouses or multiple attached units at 3 stories.
Can you just check that zoning bylaw, please, to make sure it actually says RM1 will take it other than a townhouse?
So I have in front of me the site-specific provisions. The southern portion of the property was identified as Block 3, and this is in Bylaw 2014-14, or were you referring to the 2004 bylaw?
Well, you're talking, but we know the 2004 bylaw was 3 stories. Now we have the new RM1 zone, which Table 6.2.2 states townhouse dwelling. It is not an RM2, an RM3, an RM4, or an RH, which allows all different varieties. Am I reading Table 6.2.2 correctly?
I'm sorry, I don't have that part of the bylaw, the site-specific provisions in front of me.
Excuse any scribbles or tabs there.
There are a number.
Page 6.2.
So 6.2 permits in the RM1 zone.
Does the RM1 zone allow for residential uses?
It allows a townhouse dwelling, home occupation, private home daycare, a daycare, an emergency services facility, and other open space uses.
So it does not allow stacked townhouse dwellings, back-to-back townhouse dwellings, or apartment dwellings?
That's
or
correct.
retirement. So it's only townhouses, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. And in that zoning bylaw, on page 6-9, what are the maximum number of stories of the RM1 townhouse dwellings? It's table 6.3.8.
Yep. It has a maximum number of stories of 3.
I thank you. And I know there's some talk about an official plan. What does the official plan say in section 28.1.1?
.1.1. Is that what you said? It refers to this is the implementing section. It's part F of the official plan, so it sets out the implementing policies. Zoning bylaws shall be used to implement the objectives and policies of this plan by regulating the use of land, buildings, or structures in accordance with the provisions of the Planning Act, and may be more restrictive than the provisions of this plan. It is not intended that the full range of uses or densities permitted by this plan will be permitted by the zoning bylaw in all locations.
Okay, so it can be more restrictive, is what it's saying in here in the implementation portion?
Yes, it would be more restrictive. It could be more restrictive depending on the implementation of the overall policies.
And from the Planning Act, section 24.4, what does that say? The Ontario Planning Act. Okay. It's deemed conformity. If a bylaw, I'll let you read it because.
So under section 24, deemed conformity. If a bylaw is passed under section 34, section 34 is a zoning bylaw section, by the council of a municipality or planning board in a planning area in which an official plan is in effect, within the limited time of appeal, no appeal is taken, or an appeal is taken. Can I summarize? Would it? In essence, it says that once a bylaw is approved, it's deemed to comply with the official plan.
Bingo. Thank you. Thanks very much. And that's all the questions I will ask in public. I have more to say when we go in camera. Thank you.
So, Councillor, if you wish to go into camera on the item to receive solicitor-client advice, now is your time.
Your Worship, honestly, I think I would rather we dealt in public with things and go in at the end of the meeting, so we're not in and out of camera, if that would work for everybody. I'm trying to just, with everybody sitting around here, it'll only be council, and I was hoping to go in at the end of the evening to get it resolved.
So, do you have a motion you want to bring on this?
Yeah,
item?
I would move that we go into camera at the end of the meeting.
So you want to defer consideration of this to the end of the meeting?
Yes, that's what I would propose we do.
Alrighty. Just need a seconder, Councillor Lapworth. I need a vote. All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried. We will defer item C1.